Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
Welcome back to another edition of the Rare Beer Club. I'm your host, the Ginger Yeti. And if you watched my video the other day, you saw me do the unboxing. I did the Corsendonk pattern, and this was the other beer that was in there. This is the Oude Kriek Vieille. I don't know how to pronounce that. That last word of the Vieille is a French word. Apparently it means like old, aged, vintage, which fits this beer because this is the 2014. And like I said, this is from the Rare Beer Club. So if you want to bear with me, I have a couple things I want to read about this beer and the brewery. Today, the brewery is one of very few to still be employing spontaneous fermentation in this classic brewing region, maturing lambic for up to 3 years in barrels, which can in turn be blended to go into the brewery's classic Oude Goose. For the brewery's Oude Kriek, our featured beer, sour cherries go through a primary fermentation in lambic as well as re-fermentation in the bottle. The local microflora in the air gives these beers their unique fermentation characteristics, and quite simply, the lambics and gooses of Belgium are some of the most expressive and delicious beers on the planet. They do produce good beers. A little bit about the beer here. Oud Beersel's Oude Kriek Vieille 2014. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Epitomizes the authentic methods of crafting Oude Kriek, a traditional safeguard under European protection, ensuring no compromise with added sugar, artificial flavors, or preservatives. That's pretty sweet. You can't add any extra sugar, artificial flavoring, any of that nonsense. In a meticulous process, sour cherries are slowly infused into the lambic. With an impressive rate of approximately 400 grams per liter, that's a lot, setting a standard with Oud Beersel's realm. The result is a sweet tart symphony where lush tart cherries intertwine with subtle notes of vanilla and almond. This extraordinary brew bears a remarkable longevity, with the best by date extending an impressive 20 years beyond its release. Our focus on the 2014 vintage stems from its entrance into the pinnacle of flavor complexity, a sentiment echoed by the scarcity of its U.S. distribution, with only a handful of the final cases available exclusively through the Rare Beer Club, and no inventory available via further imports. This is kind of funny. I've been a member of the Rare Beer Club for a long time. I actually have another bottle of this sitting in my basement that I've never opened. And now that I'm going to open this one, I think I'm going to sit on the other one for a few more years. Pouring a radiant ruby, Oude Beersel's Oude Kriek Vieille 2014 captivates with its modest off-white foam cap and core reminiscent of fine Pinot Noir, exuding a vibrant burgundy allure with deep variations in its hue. The aromatic journey is equally enticing, with deep red fruitiness leading the charge, underscored by the comforting presence of almonds and toasty oak. A delightful interplay of plush fruitiness and complex acidity delights the senses, with each sip revealing layers of juicy tartness and nuanced sweetness. I mean, this beer already sounds amazing. Dark cherries, you already sold me right there. This is going to be a good beer, I hope. Now, like I said, this is from the Rare Beer Club. They give you this little paperwork all the time when you get the thing. It tells you like the styles, the vintage Oude Kriek. It's alcohol, 6% alcohol. Serving temperature 46 to 54 degrees Fahrenheit, which you're getting up into the, 12, 13, 14, I think somewhere in there, Celsius. Suggested glassware is a lambic tumbler, which I absolutely don't have, a flute I don't have, or a tulip glass. This is a stemless tulip glass, so I'm going to use the stemless tulip glass. Hopefully everybody out there accepts that as being acceptable glassware, because I don't have the exact glassware for this beer. I know some people get all bent out of shape about it. Like I said, like I've mentioned in other videos, this is a gift I get. It's my Christmas gift. I get 2 beers a month. But the price per bottle is $20.50 plus whatever shipping and handling would be if you wanted to go buy this from their website, if they still have any left. Another interesting thing they have on here is aging and pairing notes. And this says, the brewery gives Oude Kriek a 20-year shelf life. That's insane right there, which we're at the halfway point of. And it is 2024, so they are correct. So expect it to age gracefully for at least another decade. For pairing, we recommend charbroiled salmon, roasted pheasant, seared duck breast with a cherry reduction sauce, cherrywood smoked chicken, or turkey pot pie. Can even be paired with cherry jubilee or cherry pie for dessert. Now, all that sounds delicious, but that's the first time I've ever heard of turkey pot pie. I would love to try a turkey pot pie. I mean, I bet that's really good. Now, on the bottle here, I know I've talked a lot already. I'm surprised to see this. And I don't know if this is some sort of labeling thing with the US or what, but the label says it's a malt beverage, aged in oak with cherries added. And I'm just surprised to see that they call it a malt beverage. Belgian ale. Not a whole lot on the label here. I mean, there's some stuff that I probably can't read because of the gold, the way it's written. It's gold and yeah, that's so hard to read. I'm sure I've covered it already in the paperwork, anyways. Yeah, I mean, I think I've covered everything. Best before date 11/19/2034. So November 19th of 2034 is when they say this beer will start going bad. And that is just crazy that this beer is already 10 years old and they think it's going to age fine another 10 years. That's just wild to me. I think I've spoken enough about it. Time to open a 10-year-old beer. Let's see if I can not make a giant mess. Now this has another one of those cork and cages, like a lot of these big bomber bottles do have. It's not popping off on its own. That's a good thing. This feels like a... well, that went everywhere. Wow. That probably shot 2 meters from me. Did not expect that. I was about to say that was a composite cork. Don't know if there's anything on that cork because I'll never find that. Some nice gun smoke came out the top, but at least it didn't like overflow and fizz everywhere. I'll be a professional once again. Get my little protractor type device out. Get the glass at 45 degrees so I can pour this properly. Oh, that looks delicious already. That looks like cherry juice. That straight up looks like cherry juice. That just looks really nice. Oh, and the smell of cherries. Yeah, it's just already. Move that out of the way. That is just dark red, ruby red. I mean, that's red. That's, you know, the only place I've ever seen like proper cherry juice in a container is in Germany. And that's what this reminds me of, is like the straight up, real, unadulterated cherry juice. That's what this looks like to me. And this color is not on the SRM chart. I mean, that's cherry, dark cherry red. The head that was on this, very fine, maybe a fingernail's worth of head. And it was a reddish pink, and it's dissipated real quick. But that just, to me, that looks like cherry juice. Looks so inviting right now. Let's see what it smells like. That smells like cherries. Like sour cherry. It's a little, almost a tiny hint of oakiness. Some subtle sourness that's kind of making my mouth start to salivate. But just cherry. I mean, that's beautiful dark cherry. Cherry. I don't know what else to say about it. That just smells amazing. I can't wait to taste this. It's making my mouth water, so I'm just going to dive right in. That's a 5 out of 5 on Untapped. That is beautiful. That's it. That's exquisite. This is like it's dark tart cherry juice. There's no way there's any alcohol in this. The body is fine. It's got a nice fine body. It's light, a little bit of carbonation in there, but this is just absolutely phenomenal. This is a 5 out of 5 for me on Untapped. I mean, this is an absolute banger. This is a cracking beer. I love cherries. This is one of the best cherry beers I've ever had. I'd pay $20 for this all day long. This is an amazing beer. I don't know if I mentioned it because I was so excited to try it, and because of the cork popping off. On Untapped, it gets a 4.06 with 1.1 thousand check-ins, and that's just for the 2014 vintage. Well, Beer Advocate, they don't differentiate between the different years and vintages, so it just gets a 93 outstanding for overall with 834 check-ins. I think both of those are really low. Well, excuse me, both of those are way low. I am so happy I have another bottle of this sitting in the basement. I can't wait to age it a couple more years. Hopefully the next time I open it, hopefully when I open it, I get to share it with some people. This beer is just phenomenal. I don't know if you'll ever see it. If you do see it, buy it. Buy it. This beer is amazing. Like I said, it's just like two horns up, two big horns up. It's got to be up there with probably one of the best beers I've ever had. Definitely better than West Veteran. I'm sure I'm going to get some hate mail for that. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this beer. Just absolutely amazing. And I'm going to leave it at that.